Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm excited about today's video, and I'm just overall excited this weekend because yesterday we were out racing the kart at T4 Kart Complex and we managed to secure a podium finish. We finished P3. It was a hard fought battle, but that really doesn't matter, does it? That's not what this video is about. The video is about what did I do with the R8? I obviously traded it for something, and as you can see, there is no R8 in the shop. She's gone. And no, I did not trade it for this Midnight Purple FD. That is a good friend of mine, Mike's. But yeah, we got rid of the R8. So I kind of want to make this a little fun and exciting video, if you will. You know, not overly dramatic, but I want it to be more interactive with you guys. I want you guys to drop some comments below. Tell me what got you guys into the car scene. Are you an import guy, domestic, like what, truck guy, Jeep guy, whatever it is. Maybe you're not even into cars. Maybe you're into karts. Maybe that's how you started following my channel. Maybe you're into dirt bikes. Maybe you've seen me and Wyatt riding in Alaska together last summer. But drop a comment below. What was your first car? What was your first, power sports, utility vehicle, whatever it is. And or if you don't even have one, but you have a dream car, something that you want to buy in the future, drop a comment below. Let me know. My first car ever was a 1996 Cavalier Z24. And today, I can't even really say it with a straight face. Like back then it was kind of a cool car to have, but it was what I could afford at the time. It wasn't super fancy. I ended up loving the car so much, I bought a second one. So that was the second car I've ever owned. Common question that I get is, how did you get the Supra? Or, when did you get the Supra? Well, that was the third car I ever bought. So this is commonly known as, for people who know me, the Supra is called my wife because, well, we've been together 18 years and she ain't going nowhere. We'll talk about the Supra in another video at a later date and time. But what you guys want to know is what did I do with the R8? And honestly, I plan on selling the R8 for quite some time now. I did have the car for 3.5 years, so it is going to be bittersweet that it's gone. It was an amazing experience with that car, super fun to drive, but it was just time to go. Like, you just got to move on to other things. And I will be honest, I plan on using some of the money to buy another little project. I would love to have another FD. I used to own one, but it just so happens like we are in a kind of a weird car market these days. So sometimes finding a buyer for your car is just not so easy. And it just so happens that this particular car came across my social media feed and I was like, you know what? That car makes sense. I'm gonna try to see if I can make a deal. So this was a car that I traded for that I had, well, I'll be honest, I've never even owned this particular brand of car before. I've always considered that this is a super cool car, it's unique, it's iconic, but I never really ever thought that I was going to buy one ever, honestly. Up until a week ago, I really never dreamed of it. So I went ahead and messaged the seller, see if I could strike up a deal, and well, as you can see, I don't have an R8 anymore. Without further ado, here she is. This is my new 1999 R34 GTR. Honestly, the main reason I bought it was because it was silver. Let's be honest. All my vehicles are silver. If you didn't know that by now, I got a problem, guys. But no, honestly, this is a super clean car. And if you recognize it, it's because Mr. Victor Alvarez had this thing for sale. He originally bought it for himself, but it just wasn't a Supra. He's not necessarily a Nissan guy at heart, I don't think, and neither am I particularly, but it is a super clean car. Interior is just, like, you really can't beat it. Like, this is if anybody knows Victor Alvarez, which everybody knows Victor, right? But when he buys and sells cars, he only buys the best. So when I knew that he bought this car kind of for himself personally, I knew it was going to be a very high quality car, and it certainly is. And I'm glad that I made this deal. She is beautiful. A lot of you guys are probably wondering what's the specs of the car. Well, it is a base GTR. It's not a B spec, it's not a NER spec or an M spec or anything like that, but they actually did make less of these than like the V specs, surprisingly. This is a 1999, as I mentioned. It is in the KR4 Sonic Silver. It is, again, man, it is super, super clean. She purrs like a kitten. She is otherwise basically bone stock. Vic put the wheels on it and did put a HKS exhaust on it, which is no big deal. But man, look how clean this thing is. So another thing I wanted to mention is this is actually a lower mileage example of a GTR. It only has 65,000 miles on it, or 105,000 kilometers. And it was just recently imported into the US. Victor and I are the first people to ever really drive this car in the States, which also makes it a little more just kind of special to me. And like I said, it is silver. But another cool thing about this car is it's a low production number GTR. So this is one of the very early models. As you can see, the chassis number there is 000777. I don't know who owned this car before in Japan. I mean, if you ever see this video, please drop a comment, email me or something, get a hold of me. I'd love to know more history on this car, of where it originated in Japan. Like I said, there isn't really a whole lot of information here because it was freshly imported as of literally 2 months ago. But I would love to know more about the car. And as like I said, I don't really want to do a whole lot to this car other than just kind of keep restoring it and keeping it in such a pristine condition that it is. Oh man, the car, the colors, you can't be mad at these two beauties, or even this one. Honestly, if this is a silver RX-7, I would have bought it off my buddy in a heartbeat for sure. Yeah, I am stoked to have this car. Yeah, man, I'm kind of speechless, but here she is, boys. Man, I just can't get enough of these colors. We got the Sonic Silver GTR and we got the Quicksilver Supra back there. I'm a silver guy. Like I said, I got a problem, but drop some comments below. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a good trade, or am I an idiot? Be kind in the comments, guys. No hate, but I'm just curious your thoughts. I think honestly, I'm going to keep this as a time capsule, but if I did any modifications to it, again, I think they need to be very tasteful and keep this in its pristine shape. I think the only quote unquote major things I will do to it is really just restoring this car. And like I said, keeping it a time capsule and just making this thing just an absolute gem. It is such an iconic car that I would hate to modify it. To be honest, a lot of you guys don't know, my Supra is heavily modified, and I'll show you guys what I mean. It looks fairly stock exterior wise, and to be fair, interior wise, it is also very stock. It's a little dirty, but if we pop the hood, this car is anything but stock. This car is heavily modified. It actually, speaking of buying things from Victor Alvarez, this is a stage 2 short block and a built head from Induction Performance, and the car makes about 900 wheel horsepower. And I'll feature that in another video, but I really, as much as I would love to twin this car with this car, the reason that I kind of don't like the Supra, I mean, I love the Supra, don't get me wrong, but the little things that I don't like about it is because it's over modified, if you will. So having this in a stock pristine, well, I say, pristine, but she's in immaculate condition. It just checks all those boxes that the Supra doesn't. So I don't really want to modify this in any major form. And I think the car will hold a whole lot more value because it is such a clean, original example. So I think we're going to leave it that way. But if we do modify it, it'll probably be tasteful, like Nismo mods or just OEM replacement things, fixing things here and there. I know A very common problem is the multifunction display there in the center. It does work, but it's got like the sun fading, so you know, we'll tear the dash apart and replace that screen and just, you know, fix some other minor things. And I'm sure at some point I'll probably do what I did with the Supra. I'll like drop the subframe and, you know, the suspension out of it, replace bushings if they're worn out, you know, re-powder coat things if there's any surface rust. Like, I'll just take it to that level of just keeping it a super clean car and just have it as a time capsule. So, but yeah, there she is. Again, I'm excited to see what you guys think, so please drop some comments below. Love or hate it. Like I said, I've never owned a Nissan before in my life, so if you're a Nissan guy, show some love. If you're not, well, try not to hate too much, but this is my new pride and joy, if you will. So with that said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.